Hello folks, welcome to Truly Unplugged live here from our very first customer day here at our HQ in Derby. Really excited today because we've got two of our longest serving customers, I believe. But first, let's give a round of applause for our panel today. So I think everyone's familiar with our CEO, Tim Rookes.
Sick of me now.
No, not at all. Tim, welcome back to the stage.
Thank you.
And let's introduce our other two guests first. So we've got Richard here.
Yep, Richard.
So Richard, where are you from? Is it Ketley-Brick?
Yes, Commercial Director at Ketley-Brick and Suzanne Bassett.
Perfect. And we've got Suzanne from...
Suzanne Bassett, Operations Director at the DB ESG.
Perfect. So two of our longest standing customers here. And I know you both know Tim very well, so promise not to share too many stories, blast from the past. But first, let's give a little bit more information about your business, Richard. Done a little bit of research. Brick manufacturer.
Yes.
Love your website. Nice young picture of you on the website there, looking very dapper. So, bricklaying, brick manufacturing, key part of the UK infrastructure when you think about it. So, tell us about the business and where do you operate from in the UK at the moment?
So we operate from just outside Wolverhampton in the West Midlands. We're a very small manufacturer of engineering bricks and clay roof tiles. The company's been there for 220 years, and I've been there for just over 9 years in various roles.
Wow. Did you always know you wanted to work in bricks?
No.
And how many people do you work with?
There's about 9 of us in the offices and then circa 50 people work in the factory itself.
Okay, wow. Okay, that's interesting. So in terms of the tech side of bricks, people probably think of how does technology work with the brick industry. How's Truly really helped your business, at least since you've been working with that?
It has dragged us into the 21st century, me willingly, some not so willingly. We've got a lot of very traditional people that work there, shall we say, who weren't used to the idea of upgrading things, changing systems, making everything better for short-term pain, long-term gain sort of thing. So when I started, I think they were on Windows 1805, which, they were quite used to and quite happy with. So when the new kid came in and started asking if we could change things, and better received by some of them.
Well, and I'd love to go back to that point because I think that's an interesting thing, in terms of businesses adapting and sometimes having those conversations can be quite hard. And I guess, that's where having expertise perhaps outside the business to help with that transition is probably a benefit. But before we go a bit more further into that, let's introduce Suzanne. So a little bit of research about you. So UK engineering company, DB ESG, all about trains, as far as I'm reading.
Yes.
They're making trains safer, greener, and more reliable. Is that fair to say?
Kind of, we're based in Derby, Deutsche Bahn. So the engineering support group, we supply technical and engineering consultancy to the rail industry. Basically, we put systems on trains. Got some very specialised engineers, there's 6 to 7 of us, and we provide solutions.
Yeah. You always know you were going to work in trains when you were younger? Was it something you were playing with at Christmas when you were a kid?
No.
Yeah.
I think I went into the rail industry in 1997, came out 6 months later in something again.
Wow. Okay. So what kept you there?
Went back in 2001, and then it's always changing. I've grown with it. I enjoy my job. I get involved in all aspects of it, and lucky enough to be part of the sort of what's next team.
Yeah.
So the changes that we can bring in, implementations, working with people like Tim, it does make the future better.
I love that. We've got 2 of our customers here. Really, you can argue really quite significant to the backbone of the UK economy. Bricks and trains, right? They're not working. I know where the UK's going, to be honest. Tim, let's introduce yourself then, because obviously managed and founded True MSP a few years ago now.
Yeah, 2017.
So these customers well before the Truly SMB journeys.
Yeah.
I know for this business, relationships are really important. But tell me how kind of you came to work with these two businesses and these two individuals?
Well, it's just kind of through, I guess, referrals. So that they're actually both working with someone that I had my old boss actually when I was at Cooper Parry, and he introduced them to us. I think, and originally we got talking to Suzanne and ESG about phone system, I think it was, and then it sort of snowballed from there once we explained all the other stuff we could do. And then with Richard's business, same amount of time, so pretty much since we started, and I remember coming down to see your setup and the old kilns and all that sort of stuff. So you sort of don't associate it with technology, but actually Richard and the guys there have been really good at adopting all the latest technology.
Yeah, it's a random question really, but what was it like, I guess, I mean, two really interesting businesses there. I guess my question is, how do you have the confidence to know you can go and support such needed businesses with IT? Is that just a case of you knowing that you know the solutions, you know IT, you know the team here that can do it, or has it always been a can-do mentality?
Yeah, I think ultimately, most businesses, doesn't matter what they do as the end product, they usually have similar challenges, and they do all use computers. Lots of companies now, of course, are on Microsoft 365. So you do tend to find, although the business itself is massively different, the technology sometimes can be very similar. So, we have got a fantastic team here at Truly SMB, and of course we did back then at Truly MSB, and it's just having that confidence that we know we can go in, we work alongside people like Microsoft and always keeping ourselves up to date with what they're doing. So we have the confidence to go into companies and know that we can make a difference.
How useful has it been for you, Richard, to, I guess, stay with the same technology supplier for like a good length of time as opposed to being with other competitors shopping around? I mean, it seems like you've got a great relationship with Tim. How much does that help in the sort of fast-paced, changing world that we live in tech now?
I think the relationship is the key part of that. And so we know where we stand. We know we've got that personal relationship with Tim and the rest of the team that we talk to on the phones or emailing, that we know we're going to get looked after. We're not just a ticket number. We are Ketley-Brick or whoever might be emailing in. And we get dealt with as such.
Even with Tim, I guess, in quite a senior role within his business journey, you still feel like the relationship with him.
Absolutely, yeah.
What's the weirdest thing you called him up and asked him for?
I know the best thing Richard's called me up and asked for.
Go on.
Look, a few months back, I was in the car going home after their work, and Richard rang up and said, really interested in AI, but we're not sure how we can get started. Is there anything you can help us with? And I remember saying, well, it's funny you should ask that, because we just released something called TrulyFIT, so it's perfect.
Yeah, and I guess sometimes it is knowing that you can just pick up the phone and give someone like yourself a call just to, road test where your head's at, in a kind of informal manner, right? I think that's really important as well, isn't it? Because you probably could look online, ChatGPT, whatever, but you still want to know you can trust the information you're getting, right?
Yeah, something that supports in the background of whatever you're doing.
For sure. Okay, and Suzanne then, tell me, when was it you started working with Truly MSB, if you can remember?
You think you came into the telephone systems, didn't you? Literally.
Yeah.
Still on handsets.
Yeah.
2019,
yeah.
The reason why endpoints is, so it led on to bigger discussions. We came out to roll like this, and then becoming of sport. That was, I think, in the November time. We got the project kicked off, and we moved everything from the servers into the cloud. So it was a big change. We worked with engineers. It was on servers. They knew where everything was. They could have 1,500 folders, but we wanted to move it to the cloud. So it took a lot of change management.
Yeah.
To get into the cloud.
Away.
Yeah, and it was changing, and people didn't like it. Just changed. And then in Feb, we introduced Teams. And I can remember being in one of your training sessions and following them out. And the chap in front of me went, Teams? Who's going to use that then? and then we got shut down in March.
Right.
Lockdown.
Okay, yeah.
So we've gone from only having 7 or 8 people to access the server at any one time, and that was provided we weren't on a CAD system.
Yeah.
Been enabling us to be able to work through lockdown.
Wow.
Yeah, the time it was unbelievable.
Yeah, it is amazing how just kind of Teams, Zoom, all these things just, we were talking about, but it was like nice to do, maybe. In the worst case scenario, I can't meet this person, in person, but then our whole lives just changed around that, really. And I guess some of those early projects then where you did work with Tim and his team, TrulySMB before, was it important at the beginning for those things? If they went well, did that then give you confidence that you could trust him and his team, if that makes sense? Because I guess relationships are built on, those things going well. If there had been something wrong or you didn't feel you had faith in the team you were working with, it might have been the same.
Totally, and I think we grew together as well because it was new. It was massively new for us. It was a huge change, and then we started drip feeding all the other changes that we're now aware of. Personal relationship. Most of the engineers on first name tell you that it's for the team and the rank mark. There's trust. Biggest thing is trust that we know we're getting the right products, what we need, and we're not just being sold the windscreen wiper on top of the car with no windows.
Yeah, totally.
So it was.
Yeah, you don't want to be feeling like you're being sold to 24/7. No.
And then yesterday, I rang you at 20:30 in the morning.
Yeah, yesterday was that?
Yes.
Oh, right. That's pretty impressive.
Well, what's that?
I'll give you a ring after the Christmas holiday. That's fine with me.
I don't care the WhatsApp for.
Then, so as soon as I saw it, I thought, something's obviously gone wrong. So
Wow, okay.
then had a power cut.
Yeah, well, obviously it took everybody on the internet and the IT backbone and system. So I WhatsApped and so you didn't have to listen to my dulcet tones. And then gave them 20 minutes, gave them a call, and response time, 8 o'clock.
Yeah,
Response time.
Jacob.
Went out, text Jacob, so then she could call it to SG and
Back up and running by 9 majority and 10 of the rest.
Yeah. What's it like for you when you do have one of those technical malfunction issues? It must be quite a stressful feeling for you in the business as operations. Yeah, it is.
On the internet for a start, which I think everybody in this room, that stops you.
Yeah.
Whether it's to check your email, just your normal email, it just stops you. And obviously we sell our engineers,
Yeah.
and they're not working.
So is everyone in the business and the customers looking at you pretty much for what's the answer? When's it going to be fixed? So that's where you need support.
Well, my phone call came in at 6:10 and didn't actually know it was on the phone because the number wasn't logged. And I was playing that. Just keep talking. I'll know who it is. And he's clearly got the wrong number because it's telling me it's a problem and it's Saturday.
Oh.
And I was like, no, it's Monday. It's Monday. Oh, now it's work.
Wow. Yeah, a little insight there into I'm sure everyone here's had their own experiences, just how, it's not all sunshine and stars when you're running a business, right? So let's talk a little bit about the world today. How are you, Richard, utilising the 3 core services that Truly SMB offers to its customers now? Is there anything specific you're really honed in on at the moment?
Myself and a colleague over there, George, are working with Matt on the TrulyFIT program and incorporating our AI and Copilot, and hopefully, I thought I shouldn't say Business Central Copilot together.
Yeah. Have you had any experience of using TrulyFIT yet? Had some trials yet? Was today like your first introduction?
Workshop.
Okay,
At the moment, so we are building a specific agent for building quotations from very generic emails, and we've got quite a large matrix of prices that we use. So trying to get that matrix of prices to be accurate and to be read by AI in such a way that it doesn't give you a load of rubbish and answer.
Right, so it's kind of an efficiency tool.
Yes,
of anything.
Yes.
I guess what's touching on what you kind of saying earlier about you being the lead for that transition within your business. I can't imagine that's an easy job in very traditional industry. I guess it's one of the reasons you were interested in TrulyFIT is because of the coaching side of it, right? The fact that it's not just here you go, off to your run, that kind of workout thing. Did that appeal to you? And do you think that's something that you'll be able to incorporate within your teams?
Yeah, definitely. It keeps the focus on it without being sort of overwhelming by doing it all at once. We're setting scheduled times to review and look through what we're doing. Whereas if I was applying devices, you'll probably never get done, or I don't know how to use it, and then I'm the only person who is responsible for it and the go-to. Yeah, as now we're doing it as a team, which is much better.
We often use the analogy, I'm sure you've heard it today, of being like a personal trainer for our customers. So we, I guess, have to be cautious sometimes not to nudge our customers too much, but I guess that is the relationship you do have with a personal trainer.
Some of us need it.
Some of us need it. Yeah, and I guess it kicks you into gear when you know you've got that next appointment coming up, right? Yeah.
Yes.
No, for sure. And what about yourself, CEO?
We've kind of run alongside you, haven't we?
Yeah.
So we've been fortunate enough that TrulyFIT is a really good tool, but because of how we've worked with TrulyFIT, we've been introducing things as we've gone along because they've come in new. So the hunters, I mean, that was a really big thing. So we're reasonably cyber-fit, but we're always learning. And you ring me up and you've got new stuff.
Yeah. I mean, it's always that fine line where, we don't want to keep sounding like we're just constantly trying to sell new things, but that's not how we've ever worked. We always, everything that we talk to our clients about is always something that we know that they're going to benefit from and need. So things like Huntrust and obviously TrulyFIT and AI, Copilot, all that sort of stuff. It's just things that can really make a difference to business. And of course, from that side of things, each business is slightly different. So cybersecurity, yes, every business needs that. TrulyFIT, there's different elements in TrulyFIT that work for different businesses. So that's really interesting.
Yeah, is it right to kind of assume then that you'll have some customers who have more of a clear direction, what they want, when they want it, and they'll kind of come to you with that. And then others who maybe it is more of a case of keeping them up to date of what we're doing or the latest developments, but in a non kind of overly pushy way, because they need to make that decision kind of themselves.
Yeah, it's a bit of both really. It is sometimes quite hard to be proactive. Everyone says, "Oh yeah, we're really proactive," but that takes it takes time. You need to get meetings scheduled in with clients. So it can be quite difficult. So I mean, that example I gave you when Richard rang me up. Because he wanted to talk about AI, and it just so happened that was just the journey that we were starting to go down with TrulyFIT, so it was perfect timing as well. But it is important that we do keep our customers up to date, particularly around cyber security and those sorts of things.
Yeah, and I guess that's why today's great as well, because we can bring in other businesses, vendors from within our community, but from outside of our business too, to support with that education. Have you always enjoyed, Tim, the kind of discovery period when it comes to working with a new business and getting to know what the infrastructure from a technical perspective, how that business looks like?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not a massive techie. I don't think. You might tell me if I say you're right. But that's the bit I enjoy is understanding the business side of things. And then on a high level, looking at the technology that we can introduce to really help push a business forward or solve a problem. And that's the bit that I really enjoy. Yeah.
And from a perspective, Richard, there as a customer working with Truly, or I guess working with any supplier, do you view that relationship as more you're as a team, as opposed to then just kind of being consulting or providing support as and when you need it?
No, it's very much sort of team relationship where our guys know the names of the guys in the office and vice versa. We don't. The number of times we'll phone up some of our own customers and say, "Hi, it's Richard from Ketley-Brick." And
Ketley-Brick.
Ketley-Brick.
Yeah.
Never happens with German SMB. I say, "Hi, it's Richard from Ketley," and straight away, someone knows who I am. And probably cringes because I'm about to ask something stupid.
Don't worry, just give Tim a ring. So I'm going to definitely open the floor to some questions if any of you have any questions to for our panel in just a moment. But maybe just before then, just want to touch on perhaps some of the potential kind of challenges when it comes to technology that you're kind of that maybe you can see in the future, or areas that you are keen to kind of get ahead of, perhaps that are relevant specifically for your business.
I think we're pretty well caught up from a technology perspective, thanks to Tim and the team.
Yeah.
With the AI, and as Matt said earlier, it's not a there you go and roll with it. It's a very, very much an ongoing learning thing. We plan to keep on doing that, whether it's AI or whatever comes next, and just constantly developing as well.
Does it, I mean, just a broad question really, but does AI excite you or scare you, or where do you sit in that remit?
I don't think it's going to replace what we do, but I think it will make what we do much more streamlined and efficient, and allow us to focus on the jobs that a human needs to be focusing on, rather than the small sort of more medium tasks.
And how often, like within your business, are you talking about AI? You know, whether it's kind of at lunchtime, or are there certain, I don't know, it's about certain people who mainly have those conversations, or is it something that does pop up quite a bit in conversation in your business, would you say?
It does more so now that we're on the TrulyFIT programme. It's normally quite a blue conversation because we're having issues with it doing something that hadn't always there.
Yeah.
But fortunately, Matt sort of spoke down off that cliff and told us how to do it properly.
Yeah, it was that. And Suzanne, same question for you then, really. Did AI, we've heard of, the two letters been talked about for a while, but how have those conversations developed in your business, and did that happen because of working with Truly, or do you think that's something that perhaps
It's a bit of both.
Yeah.
We've got our future technologies team, because obviously they're exploring ways they're introducing AI, and that could be has let us find a drone up on top of the train, so we don't have to put a person up there.
Yeah.
To image analysis and data checking for bidding. We're using Claude and Copilot at the minute, two different things, but testing where it can go.
It's really like, I'm sure both of this, but particularly when you talk about correct, that there's so many opportunities really that you can use it for, and quite a niche area. I mean, not everyone's flying drones, right? So I guess finding that information, knowing you can trust it, and regulations, things like that.
Well, there's like it's the support trigger behind us, because we need to keep it secure. We need to make sure it's not released out there. We just start to close things down, because obviously we are responsible for our own designs, but to make sure that they've stayed inside.
Yeah.
For liability.
Yeah.
And we've picked your brains quite a bit on that side of things, and AI policies.
Yeah. That's where things like Purview that I talked about in there, where it's that data loss prevention piece and with all that sort of stuff as well.
Yeah. I mean, you must in your career just sort of learn and kind of be involved in some really fascinating projects. I would imagine that they say kind of working in IT is definitely not boring in this.
No,
is it?
I do remember it's probably 2018, something like that. I was in a cherry picker in a cow shed, fiddling with a wireless access point really high up with all these cows beneath me. And I just thought, you just thought you'd be doing something in IT, there's been some. We've been involved with some amazing projects over the years, and it's been superb to see. All of our clients have grown along with us, which is fantastic.
Yeah, and I suppose as well, growing your business now, honestly being the CEO of Truly SMB, working with a lot of the same team members on that journey as well, that must help, right?
Oh, 100%. Yeah, I mean, I just quite simply couldn't do it without the team that we've got, always had. We've got people working with us that have been with us since day one. Tom, I'll call him out. A lot of the new team that's coming at Truly SMB as well. I think Steve touched on it in his presentation, but we did all work together as well when we were at Good Barry. And this was always going to happen at some point. we're always going to come back round and all start working together. And the amount of knowledge and experience that we've got now, we can really do something special with Truly SMB.
Do you feel like it's the most exciting point of your career?
Yeah, I'd say so. Yeah, I mean, starting the business in 2017, so I started it in October. My wife gave birth to our little boy in November, so that was quite an exciting period. But yeah, this certainly is, just with the technology that's available now and the things that we can do, is incredible. And I think I was just going to talk about a question you asked Richard about whether people are scared about AI or embracing it. From my point of view, I don't think we should be scared of it at all. I think we are a long way off from robots coming along and taking everyone's jobs. And people also, on a slightly different angle, will talk about the AI bubble that's going to burst. Again, I'm not particularly worried about that. Yes, from an economic point of view, it would cause some issues, but the technology that we are talking about now and working with now, and that's available in TrulyFIT, it is here now, so it doesn't almost matter what's coming in the future. The stuff that we can do with Copilot and AI now is incredible stuff. It is a special time to be in the industry.
It almost feels like like insurance policy getting involved in something like TrulyFIT in a way, given the wide access and scope and continual development in that platform.
Yeah.
And the uniqueness of it as well.
Yeah. It's definitely unique. I mean, we do speak to other MSPs, and we go to events and things like that. And it's an interesting time, because I do think lots of MSPs are very much technology led, and they are going to struggle to be talking to their customers all of a sudden about, tell me about your financial reports, tell me, about all these business-based conversations, which all of a sudden they've got to start having when for the last 20 years they've been talking about technology. And again, I've not come across anyone yet that's done anything like we are with TrulyFIT.
And so much of that comes down to the human side of running a tech company, right? You have to have people who can connect on a human level, because I think now more than ever, that human communication, understanding it, making it relatable, telling that story in a way that's right to our business.
Yeah, it is absolutely that. It's talking to them, understanding their problems, and then finding solutions to them. Yeah.
Nice. Right, anyone got any questions?
I've got a question. So we've been with Tim and the guys for a number of years. So all in and advocate same sort of points, but we've also used Huntress, and we tick the boxes when these guys say we've got something new. Again, never a sale. It's more of a this could help. But I'm wondering about Cyber Essentials and is it worth it? The validity, and it might be a thing to put on your website. I'm not wondering if that might be a target, but is it worth it still?
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. So I was actually talking to someone asking the same question when we were having lunch. They've done that, but Cyber Essentials is, a stamp that you are. So Cyber Essentials won't stop you from having a cyber attack, because it isn't it isn't technology as such. It's it's a certification, but it shows to your customers and your suppliers that you take cyber seriously. And then if you want to take it a step further, the one that is really good is Cyber Essentials Plus. It is more expensive, but what that means is it's independently verified. So someone will actually come out to your office and they'll go onto your computer and they'll check that you are doing what you say you're doing, basically. So we're Cyber Essentials Plus here. So that's definitely what I would recommend.
We've helped us get accreditation with Cyber Essentials Plus. It's crucial for when we're bidding. So it's like when we're cutting in without that certificate.
Yeah, it's kind of like a mini sort of ISO certification, isn't it? And it's becoming more and more common now as well with cyber insurance. So if you want to bring your cyber insurance premium down, they almost expect you to have Cyber Essentials or Cyber Essentials Plus.
Yeah, and I suppose you could have said in the past, well, if you're connected with a company like Truly and they've got all the qualifications, etc., we're connected to them, so that's fine. But am I right in thinking that kind of in the world we live in now, actually, the more education you can also do yourself, given that people businesses, customers are so much more aware of things like cybersecurity, like that's only going to help.
Yes, yeah, it keeps you on your feet because they do keep changing it and making it more stringent each year. And so you might put a cybersecurity system in and then it runs fine, but you almost forget about it. But Cyber Essentials proves that you are keeping, it's like having a service basically for your car, you know, just making sure that everything's topped up and running as it should be.
Brilliant. Anyone else?
I think going on the Cyber Essentials Plus, it is a good thing to check because it helps with untrust and everything else because it does all the checks and measures,
Yeah.
which we're doing to make sure we're covered.
Yeah, it's kind of holds your feet to the fire, doesn't it?
Well, I thoroughly enjoyed that chat. Covered lots of topics there. Anything else you wanted to add before we close today? At all, guests? No, Tim, just to wrap up at all today?
Yeah, well, I was going to wrap up. So first, I want to say thanks to Richard and Suzanne, because I'm pretty sure when you woke up this morning, you said, yes, we're going to go on stage. True. In fact, we didn't realise we've got a stage.
No.
I got in trouble for that one this morning. Suzanne said, can we just talk about that stage over there? I want to say massive thank you to everyone that's come along and sat here and listened to us. I hope you've all enjoyed it. It's been a brilliant event. We're really pleased with what we've done, and of course these things don't just happen. There's been an awful lot of work behind the scenes, so I want to say actually give a round of applause to Liberty, Daniel and marketing and PR team. So if we could all give those and everyone else who's helped today. So we've had various people go around helping. Next year we'll come back bigger, stronger, and really looking forward to that.
Well, I think on that note, we're just going to close things off now to, I guess, all the listeners and watchers who had the pleasure of watching Truly Unplugged, our first live edition. Make sure you like us, give us a share on social media, and we'll hopefully plenty more of these sorts of events going into next year. Lots of plans for next year. So, thank you everyone for coming. Thank you for listening. And let's end with, one round of applause for our panel today.